Hello everyone, welcome back to another video of air exploration. In this video, we'll be flying from Phnom Penh to Hong Kong all the way to LAX. So as we head into the Phnom Penh International Airport, we first want to look for the check-in counter for our check-in and our baggage drop-off. So we're heading to the check-in counter with the Cathay Pacific airline and the economy class. Once we finish our check-in and baggage drop-off from the check-in counter, we next headed to the security check. So as we continue walking from the check-in counter to this escalator, we finally reach the second floor, and right in front of us is the security check-in. After we finish and pass through the security check-in, we then enter the duty-free shop area and look around as we also continue to look for our boarding gate 2. As we continue walking through the duty-free shop area, we then came across a little screen that gave us info about our airline, boarding gate, and boarding time. Ours is the Cathay Pacific airline and our destination is at Hong Kong, while our boarding gate is boarding gate 9. As we are waiting to be boarded on our plane, here's the plane that will take us on our first flight from Phnom Penh to Hong Kong. So after it's been a while waiting in the boarding room, it was time for us to be boarded on our first flight from Phnom Penh to Hong Kong. As we enter the plane, we're going to be walking from the business class into the economy class section. As we continue walking to the economy class section to look for a seat, here's what our seat looked like.
Hello everyone. It is a safety requirement.
Here's our route from Phnom Penh to Hong Kong, which will take about 2 hours and 40 minutes, so it's gonna be a very short flight. Before we take off, here's a little bit more about the seat review of this Cathay Pacific on this short flight. Here we have some headphones, a foldable table for one meal served on this flight, and a TV for watching as an entertainment. After a while waiting and preparing ourselves, our first flight is ready to take off. Moments later after the takeoff, here's a review of the toilet inside this plane. After 1 hour in the sky, our first meal is ready to be served on this flight. For our one meal served on this flight, we are served vegetable, mango flavored ice cream, and for our main meal, we are served beef stew with mashed potato. After a while of flying from Phnom Penh, we are now getting close to Hong Kong Airport. Kong airport and we are now landing. We have finally landed in Hong Kong airport. Once we headed out of the plane, we were inside the Hong Kong airport and we are now heading to the transfer. So after it's been a while from walking out of the plane and heading to the transfer, we're now going to head to a tram station that will transport us from E1 to E2. Once we headed into the tram station, we then went on one of the tram that would transport us from E1 to E2. And after a while of being transported, we finally arrived at E2 and we are now heading to look for our transfer. As we continue walking into Hong Kong airport looking for our transfer, we then headed into an area where we had to take and pass a transfer security check-in. Once we finished the transfer security check-in, we are now heading up to look for our boarding gate to take us on our second flight from Hong Kong airport all the way to LAX. Once we found our boarding gate area, we used the remaining time to explore the airport before boarding. After a while of exploring the Hong Kong airport, it was time for us to board for our next flight from Hong Kong airport all the way to LAX. Once we got through the line for boarding, we then headed towards the plane to go look and find our seat. After a while of walking from the business class section all the way down to the economy class, we finally found our seat. Before we take off, here's a review of the bathroom on our second flight. But back to our seat, here is what our seat looked like on our second flight from Hong Kong airport all the way to LAX. As the airplane crew members are preparing for takeoff, here is the menu that will be served on this flight. After a while of waiting, we are now ready for takeoff. After a while from takeoff, they will provide you a water bottle and peanuts. And soon enough from takeoff, our first meal is ready to be served on our second flight. For our first meal, we are served fruits, vegetable, bread and butter, ice cream, and for our main meal, it's gonna be noodle with shrimp and tofu. Right here is going to be our info about the route from Hong Kong all the way to LAX airport. Right now it's nighttime and it's almost time for us to sleep, but before that, here's some snacks that they have. For example, they have this Hong Kong egg tart. But besides the Hong Kong egg tart, they have other snacks that they have, including ramen. That's it for the snack, and after nighttime, it is now morning. As everyone in the plane starts to wake up, our second meal is ready to be served. For our second meal, we receive fruits, yogurt, bread and butter, and for our main meal, it's gonna be dumplings. After a long flight about 13 hours from Hong Kong, we are now preparing for landing to LAX. Once we landed in Los Angeles LAX, we are now exiting this plane. Since this is our last destination, we are now heading out of this airport, but first of all, we're gonna go through the US Customs and Border Protection check-in. Once we pass the US Customs and Border Protection check-in, we are now heading to the pickup check luggage. Once we finish picking up all the luggage that belong to us, we are now heading out of this airport. Once we got out, we are now heading to the pickup or packing area. This is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching this video of us flying from Phnom Penh to Hong Kong all the way to LAX airport. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.